Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Hey, welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. This week, we're exploring the hidden intelligence of love. Yesterday, we began with the quiet pull that sometimes arrives before we understand it. That small inner nudge, the sense that we should check on someone, listen a little longer, pay attention to a feeling that we can't quite explain yet. Today, I want to stay in that same neighborhood, but step back just a little. Because sometimes the mystery of love is not found in one moment. It's found in the way moments begin to connect. You look back over a season of your life and things that seemed random at the time start to look different. A conversation you almost didn't have, a person you met by accident, a disappointment that redirected you, a small decision that opened a door that you didn't even know was there. At the time, it may have felt ordinary. Later, it feels like part of a pattern. That's what I want to talk about today. The pattern beneath the pattern. I don't mean this in a rigid way. I'm not saying every little thing is secretly coded with a message. I don't think love requires us to become detectives with a corkboard, red string, and a suspicious number of push pins. Life is messy and we know it. Some things happen because people are people. Some things happen because the world is unpredictable, and some things happen because we make choices and other people make choices. And all of those choices bump into each other in ways that nobody could fully control. Still, I think there are times when love creates connections we only recognize later down the line. Not because everything was planned in a neat little row either, but because love is always working with what is available. Love weaves. That's one of the reasons the image of threads matters so much to me. A single thread can look fragile, easy to miss, almost nothing by itself. But when threads cross, loop, hold, and gather, something begins to form. A relationship, a memory, a calling, a community, or a life for that matter. Most of the time, we don't see the weaving while it's happening. We're too close to it. We see the errand, the conversation, the inconvenience, the delay, the wrong turn, the person standing in front of us at that one particular moment. We see the pieces, meaning often arrives later in this whole routine. You run into someone and it seems like nothing. Then months pass and maybe years, and you realize that meeting changed the shape of your life. You take a job you weren't sure about and it leads to friendships that you couldn't have imagined. You go through something painful, and while you would never choose it, it gives you compassion for someone else who later needs exactly the kind of understanding that you now carry. That last one is delicate. I want to be careful with it. Pain is not beautiful just because we learn from it. Definitely not. Suffering does not become good because something meaningful can grow afterwards. I don't believe love sends harm in order to teach us a lesson. That kind of thinking can become cruel very quickly. But I do believe love can work inside of the aftermath. Love can take broken pieces and without pretending they were never broken, begin to make something useful out of them. Sometimes that's the hidden pattern. Not that everything bad was meant to happen, but that nothing, not even pain, is beyond love's ability to touch. That matters, don't you think? That matters. Because all of us carry things that we did not choose. Losses, mistakes, old wounds, wrong turns, seasons when we did the best we could with the understanding we had, and looking back, we wish we had known more. The love force does not erase all of that by any means. It does something quieter and more patient. It starts weaving again. A person who was hurt becomes gentler with someone else's hurt. A person who was lonely recognizes loneliness in another face. A person who was forgiven learns how to offer mercy instead of keeping score. That's not a simple pattern. It's not clean. It's not the kind of thing you can put on a bumper sticker without losing most of the truth. But it is real. Love keeps making new meaning possible. I think about how often we misunderstand our own lives while we're living them. We think something is an interruption, and later it becomes the thing that mattered. We think a chapter is ended, and later we see it was preparing us for a different kind of beginning. We think someone is only passing through, and later we discover they left a thread tied to our hearts. That's the strange thing about love. It doesn't always announce its importance when it arrives. Sometimes it comes disguised as an ordinary Tuesday. That may be why attention is so important. If we only value the obvious moments, we may miss the quiet ones that are actually carrying the story forward. Not every meaningful thing enters with drama. Some of the most important turns in a life happen gently. A friend says, "You should try this." A child asks a question that stays with you. Someone tells you a story, and something inside you wakes up. You hear a sentence that bothers you in the best way because you know it's true and you aren't ready to admit it yet. Love can be like that. In fact, I think often it is. It moves under the surface. It doesn't always push. Sometimes it rearranges us by invitation. And when we say yes, even in a small way, the pattern changes. That can feel frightening because we rarely know what a yes will become. A yes to kindness may become a friendship. A yes to honesty may become healing. A yes to courage may become a new life that you couldn't picture from where you were standing. The mind wants certainty before it moves. Love often gives us enough light for one step, then another. Then somewhere down the road, we turn around and we see the path. I think that's how the pattern beneath the pattern often reveals itself. Not ahead of us, but behind us. We see it in hindsight, and even then not perfectly. We don't get the whole design. We get glimpses. We see places where something held when we thought everything was coming apart. We see names and moments that seem to glow a little brighter because they became part of who we are. This is why memory can be sacred. Memory lets us trace the thread. Not to control the past, because we're not going to do that, are we? Not to rewrite it into something easier either, but to recognize where love was present. Sometimes love was in the person who stayed. Sometimes it was in the door that opened. Sometimes it was in the strength that rose inside us when no one else saw it. And then other times it was in the stranger who treated us with kindness for 5 minutes and never knew that those 5 minutes mattered oh so much. Most of us are part of patterns that we never fully see. That humbles me. I don't know about you, but it humbles me. You may have said something kind years ago, then forgotten it completely, but another person carried it. It helped them. It changed the way they felt about themselves. Maybe it even gave them courage at a moment when courage was hard to find. And you may not even know that person. That could be just from the one you helped. You may be woven into someone's life in ways that you will never be told. In fact, I guarantee you are. That is both beautiful and a little overwhelming, I'll admit. It means our small actions matter. The tone we use matters. The patience that we offer matters. The mercy we choose when we could have chosen sharpness, that matters. We are always touching the pattern because we're part of the pattern. We're not perfectly. Nobody does that perfectly. But more often than we realize. I think all the time. There are days when love may look like nothing more than leaving someone less wounded than we found them. That sounds small until you think about what a different world this would be if more people lived that way. Leave the room a little warmer. Leave the conversation a little safer. Leave the person with a little more dignity than fear would have allowed. That is love making a pattern. And if enough of us keep doing that, the pattern changes around us. We may not see the whole design in our lifetime. We may only see a few threads near our hands. But that doesn't make the work meaningless. The thread you hold is connected to more than you know. That's the part that I keep coming back to. We're not isolated fragments bumping around in the dark. We belong to one another in ways that are deeper than convenience and broader than agreement. A kindness here can become strength there. A forgiveness now can stop an old wound from traveling forward. A moment of courage is in one life can give someone else permission to be brave in theirs. Love moves through connection, sometimes visibly, often quietly, but it moves. And because it moves, the pattern is never finished. That gives me hope. Not cheap hope, not the kind that says everything will work out exactly the way that we want it. I mean the kind of hope that says love is still able to work with this moment, this mistake, this grief, this ordinary day, seemingly ordinary day, this small beginning. You know, love is not helpless in the face of disorder. It can enter the tangled places and begin again. And that may be the hidden intelligence of love. It knows how to weave with threads that we thought were useless. It knows how to connect moments that seemed unrelated, and it knows how to take a kindness offered in one place and let it echo somewhere else. We may not see all of it, guys. I say that over and over because it's true. Know that you often don't see all of it, but we can participate in it. We make the choice. We make the decision. That's the invitation. Today, we may not understand the larger pattern. We may not know where a conversation will lead, or why a certain person is on our mind, or what meaning a small act of care might carry into the future. We didn't have to know all of that. We don't. We don't have to know all of that. We can still choose love in the piece of the pattern that we can see. We can listen, we can reach out, we can speak gently, we can make room, we can notice the thread in our hand and treat it like it matters. Because, guys, it does. It matters. It's the most important thing. The ordinary moment in front of us may be more connected than it appears, and the kindness we offer may travel farther than we will ever know. I keep repeating, and I am sorry, guys. I need to get this through to people. The person beside us may become part of a story that is still being woven, and somewhere beneath the surface, love may be making a pattern we're not able to see. Not perfect, not simple, not free from sorrow, but alive, connected, still becoming. That's enough reason for you to stay open. Enough reason to keep loving. Enough reason to trust that even now, even here, the thread is moving. This was quite an episode of repetition, and then I get going, and then I want to make sure, and then I say the same thing. But you guys get the point, I know. This is Infinite Threads, guys, and I'm Bob Barnett, and I love you all very, very much. You know what I need you to do? Go out and spread that, please. Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators. Bye-bye.
Fears